Where is UK property money really flowing? We do this by considering actual transactional data for the year 2025. Most people look at house prices and ask one question: are they going up or down? But that's actually the wrong question. The real question is, where is the money actually flowing in the UK property market? Because not all areas behave the same, and not all buyers are spending in the same way. So in this video I'm using real UK transaction data from 2024 to 2025 to break down how buyers are distributed across price ranges and locations. So let's look at where buyers are spending their money. Let's start with this visual, and this one is very powerful. This is an alluvial diagram, and what it shows is the flow of transactions from different price bands into counties around the UK. On the left we group properties into price ranges: under 150,000, 100 to 300,000, 300 to 600,000 and over 600,000. On the right we have counties where those transactions are happening. The thickness of each flow represents the number of transactions. So the thicker the line, the more the buyers are purchasing in that category and location. What stands out immediately is where the bulk of the activity sits. Most transactions are concentrated in the 100k to 300k and 300k to 600k ranges, which tells us something very important, and that this is the core of the UK housing market. It's the range where the buyers are most active. But what's even more interesting is where that money is going geographically. You'll notice that some counties attract a lot of mid-range buyers, while others capture a larger share of higher-end transactions. This suggests that buyers aren't really just reacting to price, but they're choosing locations based on affordability, commuting, lifestyle, and long-term value. So the big takeaway from the chart is that the UK property market is not just one market, it's multiple flows of money moving into different regions at different price levels. Now we move on to graph 2. This considers which areas are actually active versus expensive. Now let's zoom in further with this second chart. This is a bubble chart of the top 25 districts, and it compares two key things: the average property price on the x-axis and the number of transactions on the y-axis. So moving right means more expensive and moving up means more sales activity. This lets us split the market into 4 types of areas. The top right shows us the hot markets. Top right areas are the most interesting. These are places that are expensive and have high transaction volumes. That means strong demand despite high prices. The bottom right are expensive but quiet. Then you've got areas further right but lower down. These are expensive but with fewer transactions, which could suggest slower markets or more exclusive and less liquid areas. The top left considers affordable but active. On the other side you'll see areas that are relatively affordable but still have strong activity. This can often be commuter zones, growth areas, or regions where demand is picking up. With regards to the clusters, you can see there is a big cluster in the middle of the chart, and that is where most of the UK property market sits. These are mid-range prices, steady transaction levels. So when you combine this with the previous chart, you start to see the full picture. Money is flowing mostly through the mid-range price bands, and activity is concentrated in certain districts, and it's not evenly spread. What this really tells us is that the UK housing market in 2025 is highly segmented. It's not rising or falling uniformly. Instead, some areas are very active, some are expensive but quiet, and others are emerging as strong value markets. And that's why looking at raw transaction data like this is very powerful, because it shows not just prices but behaviour. If you found this useful, I'll be breaking down more UK housing data, including where prices are growing fastest and where value might still exist. So subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.